before we had Musangsa, we did the 3-month winter retreat on the other side of this mountain in a very old temple. And one of the times I did the winter retreat there, there's a small hall, very small, and I used to go there every day after lunch and chant for an hour. And it's only a couple meters, maybe 2 meters one way and 3 meters the other. And there's a big altar with a painting. And I'm chanting, every day for, 3 months, 1 hour. And then one day I look at the painting and it's all splashed with wax. There's candles there. And, they say in Buddhism, you don't blow out a candle. I don't know why. But so usually there's a metal thing to put the candle out. But if there's nothing there, what people often do is they use their hands and make a wind with their hands. But if you do that, sometimes you hit the candle and then the wet wax goes over it. And I thought to myself, I've been standing in front of this for 2 months and there's obviously wax all over it. I never noticed the wax before. Because I'm thinking while I'm chanting, So you start to notice things that you just never noticed before, both outside and inside. Seung at one point told me to do a mantra when I was a fairly new student. And he said, the one at the end of the Heart Sutra, Gate Gate Paragate Parsangate Bodhisattva. And he said, do it 3,000 times a day. Well, it turned out that wasn't so easy for me. It took me a long, long time to do it. And I was also working and coming and going from the Zen Center. I was living in the Zen Center. But anyway, I tried. Then one day, after maybe a year, I was at work. It was construction work. And we were just resting after lunch. I was just leaning up against the wall. And the boss came over. And he started to say something to me, and he had a habit of trying to make people feel bad. And so I don't know what he was saying to me, but I'm looking at him, and as he's talking, I noticed a bad feeling coming up inside. And then by itself, because of habit, this mantra started in my head, and the feeling disappeared immediately. And I was so surprised at what was going on inside, I just smiled at him. And he was shocked that I smiled. He just stopped, walked away, never tried to do that to me again. So we become aware of what's going on, just naturally by trying to pay attention. Complicated mind become clear is very difficult. Complicated mind becomes simple. Simple mind become clear. Not difficult. So we make our minds more simple. Become a little stupid. What did you do on retreat? I sat there and the floor was yellow. Oh yeah, and what else? Well, that's about it. When I first started practicing, I was working as a welder in a shipyard. And I decided to go to the Zen Center, and I decided to sit a retreat. So I took a couple days off from work. And when I came back to work, all the guys were like, so what did you do this weekend, man? I didn't see you around. And I said, I went to a meditation retreat. This is 1977, so it was a long, meditation wasn't as well known. And they were like, what's that, man? And I said, well, you kind of just sit there. Yeah? Well, you just kind of sit there and look at the floor. And they're like, how long do you do that? And I go, about 8 hours. And they go, oh, God, But I didn't know any of the words, like only go straight, don't know, want to find my true self and help all beings. I didn't know any of that. All I knew is it helped me. And so then they're really funny. We'd be clocking out at the end of the day and they go stuff like, I'm going down to the bar to meditate, to drink. I'm going home to meditate with my wife. So maybe one day, years later, they're alcoholic or something. Somebody tells them meditation and they go, yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah, he used to look at the floor. And I was pretty happy. To other people. I might not have been so happy inside, but I didn't spread it around. But yeah, just be simple this week. Eating time, eat, What is this? Yeah. And then in the morning when one of your roommates is taking a long time in the bathroom, then just Very important. People are out of touch with their experience. Literally their bodily experience. We don't see. People think we see objects. We don't. We see color. And our brain puts it together in three-dimensional form. We just see color. Different shades of color. And then because we're creatures that want to survive, our brains develop to have it make sense. A frog, if a frog's sitting there and there's a fly on a leaf, the frog won't see it until the fly moves. So intention is what creates our perception. And if you're not aware of that, of what your own mind is doing, then, it's the same as being dead. You're just going through some things of good and bad feelings, of trying this and trying that, of thinking a lot. It's nothing. So we have to learn to pay attention. And in the beginning, of course, our minds are pretty busy. But you see it. You see that. And then you try and come back to, breathe in, feel the air coming in. Let your lower belly come out. Kind of put your attention and your energy below your navel. And when you breathe out, little bit pull your belly in. Try to keep your attention there, but you feel the air come out. Buddha taught a lot about paying attention to breath, because the one thing we'll do from the moment we're born until the moment we die is breathe. And when you're aware of your breathing, you're back in the present moment, even if another part of your brain is busy thinking about something else. And the more you bring your attention to this moment, the more you'll begin to see things. Yourself. You can be aware of the feeling appearing. And then you can decide, is it worth letting it come out? Or maybe it's better not. And digest it. Don't just hold it down. Yeah. So if people want to find direction in their life or resolve some problem or something, the best thing to do during retreat is just try to come back to the present moment again and again. And then when it's time to consider that, it'll appear.